Wow, that's a lot of Lego.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back. It's an exciting day because a plan that we've been working on for quite some time is coming to light today. Like, it's happening today, which is pretty exciting. And this plan is going to drastically change the studio and also just like the Bricksie operation, the Bricksie YouTube channel. So we have been investing and buying and selling Lego for like 10 years. It's just been something that we've been doing on the side of creating YouTube videos for a very long time. And what I mean by investing is like buying readily available sets and putting them away for the future. So there's a set that's on the shelf and you're like, I think this one's probably gonna do well over time. Well, let's buy one of those here and there and slowly but surely accumulate an inventory that could eventually appreciate once those sets retire. We're not really like scalping. We're not buying giant Pokemon sets to get the Kanto badge collection to try and sell it for $300 immediately. We're not buying something of short supply to try and flip it immediately, but rather we're sort of doing like long-term investing. And we've been doing that for a long time. So today in this video, we're going to be discussing the future of our Lego investing. And I'd also like to take the time to talk about my experience and sort of share some feedback or advice with you regarding investing in Lego. So of course, like all investments, I feel like when you start accumulating Lego to potentially sell in the future when it retires, your goal is to make a little bit of money because that little bit of money can go toward funding your Lego hobby because Lego is not cheap. And of course, this is a slow and steady process that takes a long time. We've managed to accumulate quite a bit of inventory. That's from the like sealed collection that we have. So all of the sealed sets that we've put away for a long time that sort of snowballed and gotten larger. A lot of it is like Star Wars related, and a lot of it we managed to find on sale. That's the way that we accumulated these sets is, of course, buying them on sale through like Amazon Prime Days, because when Amazon Prime Days goes live, you're able to purchase like 2 or 3 of a set. They usually put like a limit on how many of each set that you can accumulate. So you get 3 here and 3 there and 3 there. And you think these ones are going to be good for the future. Let's put them away. And slowly but surely you sort of build an inventory. And as you buy things and as they retire, they slowly appreciate in value. And then you can sell those things. And what I like to do is actually reinvest the money that we made off selling those things into more inventory, and slowly but surely we accumulated more and more inventory. So gathering inventory was definitely sort of like the snowball effect. As you buy and sell more, your inventory becomes larger and larger and larger, and then eventually you've got a pretty big float from your initial investment. And it took us 10 years to get where we are today. Now, outside of collecting in sealed sets, you can also buy and sell minifigures. You can look for bulk minifigure lots on like local classifieds that sort of has to be pieced together, or you can try and put in offers on like other accounts that are selling online. You can try and put in offers. Okay, how about if I buy 1,000 figures, are you going to sharpen your pencil on the price, and you can try and buy more, and then you can try and sell those individually to make a little bit of profit on the side. But it is definitely a labor of love. You've got to put a lot of labor into it to try and make a little bit of money. And I've been doing that for I think like 3 or 4 years now with minifigures as well. And of course, by using this method, we have managed to accumulate quite a few minifigures. You can see them all trade out here. Another thing that you can do to gain stock in minifigures is actually buy sets, part out the sets. That's one of the reasons why we have so many parts behind us here, is because I've been buying sets like crazy, parting out the sets, and then keeping the minifigures and selling those minifigures. So that actually reduces the cost of the pieces that we see behind me. It's definitely a tedious process, and it is a way that you can get parts for your inventory for a little bit cheaper, but once again, there's a lot of labor involved in that. But we have managed to accumulate quite a few minifigures by using these methods. Another thing that we've been doing over the last few years is actually buying and selling bulk collections. Sometimes people accumulate a mass collection and then they're like, oh wow, this is becoming overwhelming. I had a lot of fun building this, displaying it, and having a look at it, but now unfortunately we have too much, or I just want to get out of the hobby. I'm done with the hobby. Luckily for them, Lego sort of retains its value, and it's relatively easy to liquidate all at once in a bulk format for, you know, a pretty substantial price. So we have helped collectors move their collections by purchasing them in bulk and then selling them. And that's why we have so many like built Lego sets that we've been slowly but surely like parting with for a long time. My buddy, the brick building biker, had a massive collection, and then he decided that he no longer wanted to collect Lego. He found passions elsewhere, and we actually purchased his entire collection from him just last year, like November 2024. And it was a huge collection. And we still have a lot of that left over here today. You can see it. There's quite a few great sets in here, like modular buildings, a bunch of Star Wars stuff, sets from all different themes. The thing is, when you're buying these huge collections, they can become rather difficult to sell because, of course, the sets are already built, and you have to go through and verify that the majority of the pieces are there. Are the instructions there? Does it come with a box? Are all the minifigures there? What's there, and how do you list it, and how do you sell it? It's easier when you're selling in like a brick and mortar store because, of course, what you see is what you get. But when you're selling online, it's a little bit more challenging, especially when you're dealing with already built pieces or already built sets, because how do you go about listing that, verifying that, and also shipping that? Yeah, so that's the 3 different ways that we have been investing, buying, and selling Lego, sealed sets, minifigures, and also bulk collections. And of course, why have we been doing this? That's because we have a major operation here with a lot of overhead, and we're trying to build an epic Lego city, and we're trying to fund that operation. I'm also trying to pay myself, pay Jose, so that we can keep food on the table for our family. So I've got a lot of different balls in the air that I'm juggling here, and a lot of different expenses that we're trying to cover. But today, that all changes. Yep, we are officially phasing out our Lego investing, buying, and selling. We are phasing it out. In fact, everything that you just saw, all the sealed sets, all the minifigures, and all the built sets are all being liquidated in one shot. We've partnered with the Brick Bin here in Edmonton. They also have a couple stores in Calgary, and they're buying it all at like a wholesale rate. We're selling it all to them. So today, we have to pack all this stuff up, get it ready for transport, and we're going to be getting it out of the studio. So as I mentioned, big changes coming to the studio and also the Bricksie operation. We are no longer going to be buying, selling, and investing in Lego. However, there is one other thing that we need to phase out in regards to that. So there might be just a transitional period of us phasing this out. But it's big, it's exciting, it's emotional because I have been accumulating this stuff for a decade, and we are finally issuing the clean slate protocol. We are getting rid of it all, which is just insane. So let's go ahead and pack it up, get it ready for transport, and then I want to discuss with you why we're doing this and what we plan on doing moving forward. The thing about putting Lego away for the future is look at how much space it takes. Like, it just takes up so much room. Like, sure, there's a lot of sets on that shelf and it has a pretty substantial value, but I think there's other assets out there that take up way less room. For example, any stock or pretty much any other investment. Investing in Lego just like consumes so much space, and that's definitely something you have to factor in. There we go, all 4 shelves emptied. The collection looks so much larger when it's on the ground in boxes. That's insane. Nearly 10 years of effort to accumulate all this stuff, which is pretty wild. It's sort of an emotional day, but it's also a very exciting day. Okay, now we need to make a path or make space downstairs for all this stuff. Yeah, so this is essentially exactly how we transported all of our built sets here to the studio. Make some boxes and then put some of the built sets within those boxes, 2, 3, 4 of them, whatever fits. And then if anything falls apart while transporting, well, then you know they came from the sets within those boxes, so it's pretty easy to put back together. Just drive carefully That's the most important part. And there we have it. Not bad. Everything's boxed up, ready for transport. Modular buildings and AT-AT walkers, gunships, Mos Eisley, some vintage stuff, a bunch of walkers, a bunch of stuff in bags as well in those blue bins there, like sets that are all bagged out. A ton of Coruscant Guard paper bags there, like a full case worth. Also the 212s in here. And then all of the minifigures were removed from the trays. So we've got all the Star Wars ones in here. Woo! That goes with one of the gunships. Yeah, that's a good figure. I think it's worth like 140 bucks. That's why she's on top. And then all of the other themes in here are all bagged out by theme. And it's all ready to go. Now we got to transport all those big heavy boxes of sealed stuff down here. Yeah, the build TMFs are still trayed out just because they have so many accessories and stuff. So if you throw those all in a bag, it could become a little bit of a mess that has to be sorted out. So you may as well just transport them like so. But now it's time to get some exercise. Good thing I wore my stretchy pants. Oh yeah, definitely getting our exercise in today, going up and down the stairs like crazy there. It's incredible to think how much space we're opening up in the studio. Whew, there we go. It's all moved. It's too bad my stretchy pants were fleece. But big change for the studio, right? Now we have all of this space right here. This is excellent. We got these shelves, which are probably going to get out of here because I've been talking about potentially making this an art wall. So we've got a little bit of art over there, but if I bring all the art up here, I think that would be pretty epic. And of course, this is going to give us more room for more tables. So we can run a table along there, just more workspace, and we can also have storage underneath those tables. I also have this mountain up top here, and it's been shuffled around so many different times. So I think eventually this mountain is going to get moved up against that wall now that we have the space for it over there, sort of out of the way, if that makes sense. Now we still have all these parts here, which I wouldn't mind getting rid of. So maybe we need to allocate one of these black shelves to all of these parts here, because then we can finally build the display that I've always wanted up here. So our plan is to have Ninjago stretching across the top here. This is going to be an epic Ninjago diorama. We can even add a little bit of elevation and different sets and all that, and I think it'd be super cool. And then we can have more sets in below. So that is like the end game for this area up here. But as I mentioned, we might be putting art there. I've been thinking about that for a while, but it's just gonna take a little bit to get there. Yeah, the art might go up here because I might be painting a cloud mural all over the white wall. I think it might look really cool because then we can get some really good shots of the Lego city, because the cloud mural just adds a lot to the vibe, you know, even up here where we're going to have the Ninjago district. We do have some more space up here for art as well. For example, we could put more art above these sets right to the ceiling. So if we need to put some of the smaller pieces up there and up there and up there, I think that might be pretty cool. And then we can go about finishing the cloud mural everywhere. And that's just going to help improve the look of the city in a big, big, big way. Because you see what I mean? It looks amazing. It looks epic. I love this view. It's just so nice when you're filming. It's so nice when you're taking photos. But then as soon as you turn like this, it's like, ooh, that's not nearly as good. Even though the city looks as good from this perspective, this lack of cloud mural, or like the end of it, just looks so abrupt and so random, and I think it needs to be fixed. Especially when you come over here and if you envision the mountain right there and there's just no cloud mural on the left of it, it just sort of drives me bananas. So it's something that I really want to fix because it's just so like distracting to have the art there. So I'm pretty sure we're going to be moving forward with that plan, but I've definitely got to give it some thought. And there's a few other things that we need to take care of before initiating that plan. These cabinets in here on both sides are now essentially open for the taking. And so are these cabinets underneath the island. And so is this space up here by our kitchen area, which we used to use for all of our like space related sets. So now we have this space open for the taking as well. But holy Toledo, we've got just a mountain of stuff here. This is insane. And this is all leaving us tomorrow. So I'm pretty excited about that pickup. Yeah, it's been a journey. Let's talk a little bit about that journey. So as I mentioned, yeah, I've been doing this for a long time, just sort of buying and selling and playing that game there, but that game is officially coming to an end for us. There is a few other things that we need to clean up. For example, I've got like a ton of CMFs brand new and sealed, so I'm gonna try and sell those, but once those are gone, then I'm pretty much gonna be done selling Lego, which is exciting. It's an exciting change for Bricksie, for the business, and for us here in the studio. What I'm really excited about is rather than focusing energy on facilitating this, because obviously a lot of energy goes into accumulating all of this stuff and selling it, I'm excited about reinvesting that energy into content creation, because buying and selling is more of like a business practice. You know, that's like the fundamentals of a business. You buy stuff, you sell stuff, but YouTube video creation is sort of different. It more so focuses on creativity, where we can create fun, free content for the world to see. And I really want to eliminate this and focus on that. So I think it's going to be pretty cool, because we've been spreading ourselves a bit too thin lately, and I think it's time for us to get out of this. Another reason why we've decided to get out of this is just because it's been a little bit more challenging to sell things on the internet as of late, especially here in Canada, just because shipping charges have gone through the roof. Shipping within Canada is expensive, shipping to the US is expensive, shipping internationally is really expensive. So trying to ship these big, large Lego sets sometimes makes it challenging to sell online, because you have to factor in that shipping cost. And I think that's why I think brick and mortar stores have an advantage, because you can actually go there, you can purchase it, and you can walk out with it that day, and there's no additional hidden fees involved. So that's why we decided to liquidate it to the brick bin, because they're going to use all this inventory to their advantage, and it's going to be cool to have it all offered through them. Also, another disadvantage that we've been experiencing lately here in Canada is the international tariffs that have been placed on us from the US. All inbound shipments get a really high tariff rate, like sometimes up to like 50 or even higher %, which is insane. So that's really had a impact on our ability to sell online, and a lot of Canadians have experienced the same thing, anyone who has a large clientele within the US. So it's another challenge that we had to overcome there. So we ultimately just decided that we may as well get out, and we may as well get out in one go, and I think we were able to do that the proper way. Obviously, we're not getting full value for all of this stuff, but I think the brick bin has been really fair and really good with us, and we're excited to move forward with them, that's for sure. So pretty cool. Look at all this stuff that they're going to be getting in their store. Now, when it comes to investing in Lego, of course, you can turn a profit. You can make money on it. But the thing is you have to invest all of this money in inventory. And the thing about this inventory is it, for the most part, will appreciate in value, especially if you're buying this stuff on sale. So that's pretty cool. You can actually watch something that you buy go up in value. But the problem is there's so much effort that has to go into facilitating the sale of this item individually when it goes up in value. So for example, all of these sets, they've gone up in value, woohoo! But now I need to go about selling them individually at that higher price. I need to go about packaging them, shipping them, and facilitating the sale, which is a lot of effort. To go through and sell all of this stuff individually, it is a lot of effort. So although Lego is a good investment vehicle, it is not a liquid investment vehicle. So rather than investing in Lego, Mrs. Bricksie and I would rather focus on drawing money from the business, personally investing that money into personal assets such as like mutual funds, stocks, etc., because that's going to help us personally, and also it's a lot more liquid. If I buy a stock like VDY or VFV or whatever it may be, Wheaton Precious Metals, whatever it may be, I can invest in that like this, and I can also sell it at the click of a button. And a lot of those are going up at the same percentage or even more than Lego sets. So I feel like when you factor in the space that this consumes, the risk that you take investing in it, and the percentage that it goes up, and the difficulty of liquidating it, it is not as good as just simply putting your money into some sort of index fund or something like that. So that's what I would recommend over investing in Lego. Collect Lego though, I'm still gonna be collecting Lego, but I'm not gonna be buying Lego on the side to try and make money on in the future just because there's better investment vehicles out there. So obviously buying and selling things has been a big part of our business for the last few years, and it has helped support this operation here, which has a lot of overhead. And we are going to eliminate that from our business, which I'm excited about because now we can, once again, focus on the creative aspect solely. That's what we're going to be focusing on for now on, and that's it. This is no longer going to be a distraction for us, which is pretty exciting. However, we are going to experience a decrease in revenue. So it is a little bit of a risk, but our goal is to create high quality content here on the internet for every one of you who are watching our videos, and we want to focus on that. If you want to continue supporting the channel, of course, we highly appreciate it. We highly appreciate all the support throughout all of the years. The best way to continue supporting our YouTube channel is to continue watching our videos. We thank you so much. Also, if you want to check out our Facebook page, that is officially monetized as well. We're having fun posting daily pictures and reels on there. Of course, that's free to go have a look at, and it's actually an incredible platform, and we've been just posting a lot more on there. So if you want to check that out, that would be highly appreciated as well. We do have affiliate links if you buy Lego, or if you access the Lego website and make your purchases. So if you access the Lego website using our affiliate links and make your purchases, it helps support the channel as well because we get a little bit of a kickback from Lego. We also have a merch store. You can see some of our merch just below this video. We've got some pretty cool t-shirts and hats and stuff like that. And then we do have a membership program here on YouTube that starts at 99 cents a month, where you get little icons beside your name and you can use custom emojis in chat and in the comment section. But yeah, there we go, everybody. A huge change happening to us, and I'm pretty excited about it. We've got a bunch of space here. We're going to be making a bunch of cool changes to the studio, which I'm really excited about. And it's sad to see all the stuff go, but I feel like there has been a weight lifted off my shoulders. I feel, I feel fresh. It feels amazing. All right, thank you so much. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Have a great day. Bye for now.